Welcome to Top 5, where we count down things. I'm your host, Ayaz Akhtar. If you pay attention to sites like CNET, you stay well informed and know what's going on in the tech world. You think you know how everything will turn out, but that's not always the case. Sometimes the unexpected happens. Today, we're counting down the top 5 surprise tech hits. At number 5, netbooks. Remember these things? For a short while, netbooks were all the rage. The Asus EPC ushered in the netbook age. These laptops could do little more than browse the web, hence the name. Some had tiny screens. The most important thing about netbooks was the price. They were super cheap. Sure, these computers couldn't do much, but who could complain when these laptops cost a few $100? Netbooks eventually died out thanks to better phones and tablets. At number 4 is the Apple iPod. $400 for a music player. You're out of your mind, Apple. Out of your mind. The music player market was well established in 2001. I'm not talking about the digital music player market, I'm talking about the music player market. Sony was one of the leaders in the field. Digital music players were using solid-state memory like your phone does and could hold a handful of songs. Apple used a tiny 1.8-inch spinning hard drive for its 5GB iPod, claiming it could hold about 1,000 songs in your pocket. Analysts didn't think the iPod could have legs since it was a Mac-only product at the time. Eventually, Apple opened up the iPod to Windows users and together with the iTunes Music Store, put together quite the powerhouse. At number 3, the Nintendo Wii. How often do we think Nintendo is down for the count? A lot. We thought the same thing back when the Nintendo Wii was introduced. Microsoft and Sony were running the show. Nintendo decided it wasn't going to play by their rules by going with motion control in the Nintendo Wii. The graphics were less than amazing. The specs on the hardware weren't spectacular, but the gameplay was flat out fun. The Nintendo Wii was very difficult to purchase at launch because it was the it product. These days, Nintendo's down for the count, right? They can't ever come back, right? Right. At number 2, the Apple iPad. When the iPad was introduced, tablets already existed and had largely failed. Why on earth would it succeed now? Reactions to the iPad's introduction were mixed as well. Why would anyone want to use a big iPod Touch? Why would anyone want to use one of these things? Also, what about that name? Great questions, but people really didn't seem to care. The iPad became a huge hit for Apple. iPads outsold Macs, and Apple reinvented the tablet market. Larger phones seem to have eaten away at tablet sales, but that's probably why Apple introduced the iPad Pro. At number 1, the Samsung Galaxy Note. When the original Samsung Galaxy Note was introduced, it was described to have an absolutely gigantic screen. 5.3 inches. That's insane. Well, it was insane in 2011. That was really unusual. It also included a stylus, which seemed like an odd choice at the time. Samsung, often ridiculed as lacking in creativity, made something different with the Note. It was unlike all other phones in the market. Its large size put it in the space between phones and tablets. So what did Samsung do? It sold 10 million units in 9 months. Huge phone, huge hit. And there you go, the top 5 surprise tech hits. What's that? I can almost hear you yelling at the screen. First, stop. This isn't live. I can't really hear you. Second, let me know what you think on Twitter. I'm at Ayaz. For more top 5s like this, visit top5.cnet.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.